Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, mothers and daughters, we have another show today with an amazing lady by the name of Tati, and she is going to talk to us about her journey to her location that she is. I don't want to spoil it, even though I already know the answer, but I don't want to spoil it. But today we have Miss Tati. Hi, Tati. Thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure and honor for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to share with our audience and also sharing with me, because a lot that I'll learn today will be very brand new as well. So let's talk about first, where did you originally live and where did you move to and why?
I was born in Siberia. You know, Siberia. And about 20 years old, I moved to Moscow, and this is where I lived my whole adult life until I was 42, and I packed all my life in just 2 suitcases, and I moved to Houston, Texas.
That is amazing. You know, most people get to a particular age and they feel like, oh, it's done. I'm going to be here forever. No need to pack up. But you said 42? That's awesome. Now, how did you come to that decision? And how did you choose my city of Houston, Texas?
Well, let me correct you. Now it's our city.
That's right. That's right.
Houston is home for me. I feel most at home here than it was my hometown or even Moscow for 17 years.
Yes.
I've been living in Houston for 12 years, and
Yes.
probably from the day one, I felt like, oh, this is it.
Don't you love that feeling, though? I have people ask me all the time as I travel, they go, well, do you think you'll ever move to another country or whatever? And I go, well, honestly, my heart is in Texas. My love for my city, for my state, for my country, it's like when I'm here, I'm relaxed, I'm comfortable, my head is clear. When I'm in other places, I feel like I got to figure out how to navigate because, you know, laws and different things are just not like, you know, the city. So, you know, I get it, that feeling of like, I'm home. It's an energetic thing within you that goes like you are at peace. So I can absolutely relate to what you're saying. And so how did you choose Houston, Texas?
About 5 years prior to my moving, my friends got a job in Houston, and they moved with the whole family. And once a week, we were having a Skype call. You remember that relic? Skype? We used to have Skype.
I used to do videos on Skype every day.
So we used to have Skype calls, and they were showing me around. And at first, I was like, America, does it even exist? Is it a real thing? But they were so excited. They were like, at least come visit. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then something happened, really bad happened in Moscow, like a terrorist attack at the airport. And I felt so unsafe and so unstable there because just a week ago I was at that airport coming back from vacation. So I went to the embassy, I got a tourist visa, I visited for the first time, and from the moment I stopped my feet at the airport on the Houston soil, I felt so welcomed, so at home, and people were so friendly. So I like, yeah, probably I need to look into that more and find a way to make it real home here. And it took me 3 years, and here I am now.
You know what? I love that you say that because it's the one thing I really try to explain to people who have never even been to Texas or specifically Houston. You really do run across friendly people. There are still really good people, really friendly people, make you feel right at home, will take you to some of the best restaurants, will introduce you to other great people. That literally happens. That literally
Mhm.
happens. But when I explain that to people, they're like, well, no, I heard that Southerners are like this, and I heard that Texans are like this. And I'm just like, you're looking at too much television when you really need to get to meet people from Houston and people from Texas, period. But I can tell you, I'm born and raised here, and I have not experienced a lot of what I hear people say that they have encountered. And I'm just like, well, where were you? What were you doing? And
Mhm.
like, because I've never experienced it. I have four children. They've never, because I asked them different questions. They've never experienced certain things. And I'm just like, I don't know what people are doing or how they're showing up to make such a bad experience for themselves. Even when I've gone to other countries, I've never had a bad experience. So I think it's all about how we're showing up. And you probably were
Mhm.
very friendly and you probably were really nice. And so you got that same reciprocation from other people to show you, welcome, welcome, welcome. And the fact that it's 12 years later now and you still feel that way, I really love that. I love that a lot. So what were some of your concerns when you moved from Moscow to Houston? Some of the top concerns that I hear from people is work, um, having a family, dating, maybe even the food. I heard somebody say, I don't like certain food or whatever. And having a place to live. Now, you said you already had family and friends that had moved over here. Were any of those things any of your concern?
Well, I'm a psychologist. And I wanted to continue doing that. It was my dream, and I always was like following that passion. And my biggest concern was like, would I ever be so fluent in English so I can practice that? Because I didn't want to stick to Russian speaking bubble. I want to be international, not only, not only physically be here, but
Right.
mentally, professionally, and all.
Now, did you know
So
English before you got here?
oh, it was very basic.
Oh,
It
okay.
was very basic.
Okay.
And my biggest concern was like cultural difference because, being able to practice coaching like I do now, it needs to be a lot of cultural background and all to be able to understand people at the same level. And of course, language barrier.
Right.
That was two biggest concerns. Everything else kind of felt like secondary. Yes, job search at the beginning was interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very goal oriented. If I set my mind to something, I know I'm going to get it
That's good.
one way or another. And I'm not very patient. So
Okay.
now I know 12 years later, here I am. I'm practicing coaching. I work for two American companies
Mhm.
as a coach, which is kind of a recognition that I'm doing more than okay culturally and language wise.
Yeah.
I just didn't have that patience at the beginning. I want it all immediately.
Right,
It
right,
took
right.
some time, but yes. And everything else you mentioned, yes, it was difficult at the beginning because I moved here with my back then husband. We were a team, we were like that. It was our mutual goal and dream and all.
Wonderful.
And 2 years later, we realized that our vision is not aligned anymore. We want different things. So
Hmm.
I got divorced.
Got it.
Imagine losing your number two and being
Right.
single in a new country, new language,
In
new
a new
culture, and
place.
all. So
Yeah.
dating was another big challenge for me. I've done my share of it. And of course, family. Friends are, you don't want to rely that much on them. You don't want to be a burden. The sooner you get on your own, the better.
Right.
So I
Right.
build my own family, so-called here.
Hmm.
Uh, Friends, professional community, I've done it all too. So yeah.
Well, no, that sounds awesome. And so it sounds like you went through a major, major shift because you're moving from your country, then you get divorced, and then you got to figure out this whole navigation of, living, like you said, a single life. And how was the dating scene for you here in Houston? Was it exciting? Was it like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because once you've been married for a while, you get a little rusty. You don't know that other part of being a single.
Mhm.
How was that? How was that for you? Because I will tell you that's the number two concern that I've heard from women. The number one was the job part. And I always say make sure you have the job secure, whatever that work is, before you move to the other country. But the dating part. How was that here in Houston for you?
Ah, see that smile on my face? That was a dream. I moved here at the age of 42.
Okay.
For my Slavic mentality, I was already so long gone for anything. Basically, you need to wrap yourself in a bedding sheet and start crawling to the cemetery. It's a funny saying in Russian, and I try to translate it.
Yeah.
But here, I was a hot stuff on the market because here it's totally different mentality. I see people getting married at 72, meeting someone and getting married again.
Exactly. I saw
So
a lady
it
last
was,
week, 86 years old, married her high school sweetheart. They
imagine
they
that.
both what his wife died, her husband died. They went to a reunion, class reunion, and they ended up falling in love. Got she was 86, and I was like, so there's hope.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So that was a, and my marriage was, besides some disagreements, everybody has them. My marriage was really good. I have a very good experience about being a couple,
Yeah,
having a partner. So
yeah.
I wasn't, disappointed or something. Sometimes people after bad divorce, they're like, yeah. But I was very optimistic and very open and, let's be honest, very naive and gullible.
Yeah. Did he stay in Texas or did he move back?
Probably he still lives in Houston, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
So my dating experience was, at the most part, very interesting
Mhm.
and a lot of learning. I even have a in my Russian speaking YouTube channel, I have the whole playlist about 100 videos about my dating experience
Oh,
because
really?
it calls like 100 first dates. I went to 100 first dates over the 8 years, and I was telling the stories. Sometimes, the essence of that. Sometimes sharing how was it.
Did you
Sometimes,
say 100 first dates?
yes, ma'am. Yeah.
You have a lot of patience and I commend you and that I'm not patient on. 100. Okay. So out of the 100 dates, did anything stick?
Yeah, of course. I was a, how do they call it? Serial monogamist.
Okay, yeah.
I go on a date, few of them, let's say couple of dozens. I meet someone. We are in a relation for a year and a half.
Mhm.
Didn't work. Goodbye. Next round. It
Right.
was interesting because, I wasn't only going on dates for the sake of dating.
Right.
I'm a
Right.
coach. At that time, I was a dating coach. So
Yeah.
for me, it was a great material. I'm learning something. I'm
Absolutely.
learning something in my webinars or I'm reading something in the books. I apply and then I'm teaching that to my clients. So it was like mostly like a lab. When in a school, you do a little bit of theory and then you apply and see how it works.
I love
No,
that.
that was great. And one day I may still write that book, 100 first dates. Could be a great book.
No, it would be an amazing book. And if you need help with that, that's what I do. People to get their books written. I've written over 30 books.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have clients that come to me and they're like, how do I put it together or how do I format it or how do I do this? I mean, yeah, yeah, I've long time. I
Okay.
have actually about 20 more books that I've already written that are going to go up. They're business books and I do a lot of business books and the how to and the what to and the
Hmm,
many
hmm,
reasons to do it and all of that. So yeah, let me know. I think that would be really awesome. And I also think
hmm.
that it would be a really interesting dating show. I think that would be interesting. Wow, 100 first dates. Yeah. And you know what? On those 100 first dates, I know you learned so much that even after you talk about those 100 first dates, you can put what you learned from them. Because there are women like me, I confess, who live in La La Land and we don't even want to date. We just want to get married. We don't want to
Yes.
date. I don't know how that's supposed to happen.
Possible.
Like I'm not on any dating sites. I mean, like if you don't catch me at the gas station or business networking, you're never gonna see me. You will literally never see me because even the Amazon man leaves the package at the door and leaves, right? So you're never gonna see
Mhm,
me. So
mhm,
I I I've been married and I'm divorced and I'm just like the dating thing is not for me because I just don't have the patience, the time, or the energy to date you and give you my energy for 4, 5, 6, 7 months or a year, and then it doesn't work out, and then I have to start that all over again. I just don't have the time. I'm 52 years old. I'm very, very old fashioned. And if somebody doesn't tell me, here's my joke. I told somebody last week, I said, if Jesus Christ does not come down and sit next to me and say, listen, I got somebody for you, it's probably not going to happen because I'm so particular and so specific and very intentional, and I just don't want to do the dating thing. It's too much like an interview. And I left corporate America in the 90s and started my own company because I didn't want to be interviewed anymore.
Mm,
So
mhm,
that's just not for me, but I commend you for doing that. And I think it would be an amazing book. I think that it would be pretty awesome. And I think that it would be so helpful for women, especially look at all the different nomads and all the different expats and all the different people that move to other countries. And again, every single woman that I've met, spoke with, interviewed, their number two concern was the dating issue. I mean, people that even want
mm,
to transition to other countries right now, their thing is, well, how's the if I move to this country, those men are not gonna like me. And it's like that's so not true. I've been to so many countries where people have said, those type of men don't like those type of women, and it's such a lie. It's
mhm,
such a lie.
mhm.
Wow. So, did any of your other family members over time, over 12 years, have any of the other family members moved over to be closer to you or just to experience a different life?
No, no.
No, they stayed home.
Mhm.
Now, do you see Houston as the end all be all, or are you thinking of other transitional moves as far as moving to other countries or other cities?
This is a tricky question. Before I was thinking, oh, Houston is a great place to call home. I traveled a lot through
Yeah,
the whole America. You know, America is so diverse.
I
You
know.
have mountains, you have ocean, you have this, you have that, big cities, small cities. I love all of that. I
Yes,
traveled a lot through America. I wanted to experience all of that.
yes.
And every time coming home, seeing Houston from the airplane, it was like, oh, I'm home. Even though, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's like too flat, sometimes,
Love it.
but
I love it
still,
all. Yeah.
living here is the best.
Yes.
But 2 years ago, I had cancer, and it was like, wake up call.
Mm, mm,
Um, it- Going through something like that really changes your perspective on everything.
yeah.
Now, we all don't know how much we have, right? We all kind of in God's hands for how long we are going to be here. But before, I kind of had a vision. Oh, based on my family history, I have 4 more years, 40 more years to live.
Okay.
Yeah, I take care of myself. I'm good. So 401k, this and that. So I kind of had that all predicted. Now I can be gone like in 2 years.
Mm,
Cancer can come back anytime now.
yeah. Mm,
And I'm still uncertain. As of this moment, I'm still uncertain. Just the other day, I was exploring opportunities, moving to Thailand because someone told me, oh, in $1,000 American, you can live like a king in Thailand. I'm like, oh, I can practice my coaching, I can teach English there, and I can experience something totally different. So, as of this moment, yes, Houston is home. My roots are here, but I'm not 100% sure that
got it.
I won't get up and go somewhere tomorrow.
Yeah. Have you been to Thailand? Have you visited?
Yeah, once
Did
when
you?
I was still in Russia, it's much closer there, and it's like Mexico for us here.
Right. Did you like Thailand?
But well, you know what they say. Visiting is one thing, living as a resident is another. As
Exactly.
a tourist for 7 days, it was paradise.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if it's going to work for me for like permanent living there.
Right. I used to think that I wanted to purchase, some type of dwelling and be able to go there a few times a year, or maybe even go and stay 3 or 4 months and come back, or, go back and forth because I've always been sold that Thailand was this and Thailand was that. I did go for 30 days last November, And as soon as I got there, I knew that I couldn't live there. Visiting was amazing. 30 days was great. I mean, I went to Vietnam, Chiang Mai, all of the Hong Kong, all those places, and it didn't give me the home. The people that I met were really, really, really nice. It was beautiful everywhere we went. It was, very affordable, of course, but it didn't give me the I want to be here forever. So I used to think that I could go to Thailand and live. And yes, I know that the living expenses are very affordable, but it just didn't give me the I'm home. So I always tell people make sure you visit those places so you
Mm-hmm.
feel the I have some ladies in my travel group. I have a travel group for ladies 50 plus. And one of them says that, she wants to go to Italy to buy the $1 homes. If you're an American, you can buy a $1 home in Italy. So we're going to go and visit Sardinia and Sicily because she wants to retire in 4 years. So she wants to already have a place that she can live for 6 months and then come back to Texas and live for 6 months. And I said, "Oh, okay. Have you visited Italy?" And she goes, "No, I've never been there." I said, "I think you need to visit." I said, "I've been twice, and I think you need to visit." And I said, "I think when you get there, you'll be able to determine it because your heart will let you know, your soul will let you know." And she said, "You know what? That's a good idea because I never even thought about it. I was just going to fill out the paperwork, maybe go and visit the house that I wanted to buy, and then just make it so." And I went, "That's not the way real life works." And you have to kind of
Mm-hmm.
know, or either if she knew someone who lived there that could report back to her and say, "Hey, this is going great, everything's wonderful. I love it here," but she has no connection, no resource or anything. So I told her, I said, "This October we're gonna go to Italy, and I just want you to feel the vibe." I said, I've been. So I want you to go to see if you can feel the vibe. And if it's something for you, then go for it. If it's not something for you, at least you will have gone and you will not have that forever fantasy in your head to think that some other place is going
Mm-hmm.
to feed your soul. Because that's for me. When I travel, I'm creating experiences. I'm tapping into my soul to see what my soul feels about a particular place. It's not so much, how much can I afford it? It's not so much of uh anything other than what does it do for my soul? Like, does it give me the yes, this is wonderful, or does it give me the this is a great place to visit, you know? So that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely understand. Yeah. And you know what? The answer that you just gave me is pretty much been the answer from all the women that I've been interviewing as far as if that's the final destination for them. And they all say, well, it is for now, but I can't say that in the next 5 to 10 years that it will be. And again, when you're visiting and you make another place your home or whatever, at some point you may want to go somewhere else. Now that you realize that, oh, this was a great experience, well, there's also other great experiences out there as well, you know. When's the last time you've been back to Moscow?
I've never been.
Oh,
When people
since
ask,
Spain, you never
when
went back?
people, when people ask me that, I'm like, I lived there for 42 years. I've seen everything. Why would I go?
Oh,
It's a
I
very
thought maybe
long.
to visit like family and friends and,
No, we meet each other somewhere. We usually go to Istanbul, or once we met in Mexico, once we made it to Belize. No,
oh,
no. It's a very long flight and it's
um,
expensive. And I used to work for corporate, and it was only what, 3 weeks a year, my vacation, spend it all to visit a place where I've lived so long. Me.
yeah.
No, I know I don't miss anything there.
I've always had Russia on my bucket list. I've always wanted to visit there. I've always wanted to visit. I mean, I have so many places on my bucket list that I'm just like, I wonder if I'll ever get to visit those places, South Korea, Russia, all kinds of places on my
Hmm.
bucket list.
Hmm.
They've just been there for a long time. I'm wondering when I'll be able to visit or whatever. Again, I love to visit, but I love to come home.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Anything else you'd like to share with us? I would really like, when we're done with this, if you send me an email with a link to that, what you said you did on YouTube about the dating. I think I could share that with our audience, and that would be very interesting and keep them on their toes. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with
Yeah,
us?
I can share that link with you, but that is my old Russian speaking channel.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
know nowadays you probably can turn the English subtitles, but yeah, yeah,
okay,
no.
okay. Anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
Um, well, I would just say if you have that passion or desire to change something, Don't let your age to hold you back.
That's right.
What I'm noticing, now I'm 52 and I'm transitioning again. So at 42, back in Russia, people were telling me, "Oh, you're too old for anything so significant, for so big changes. Where are
Yeah.
you going? What are you doing? You're done." Back then, I didn't listen to anyone and I did it, and I had a very good experience with all of that.
Good for
So
you.
now, when all that happened to me and I'm recovering and I feel like I'm back to my awesome self again, and I'm looking at my life and I'm still redesigning how I would like to live, whatever left for me. I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would like just to empower anyone who has doubts for different reasons. Just got divorced and I don't know how to date again or how to be on myself, or changing careers and like I don't know how I can do in a new industry, or going through corporate to freelancing and being your own boss.
Right.
Don't let anyone's opinion, the society norms to stop you. Whatever is here, like you feel the strongest desire for that, just trust in it and go for it. This is probably the most important thing.
I love that. I love that message because you said it so perfect. You said it so perfect. Thank you so much, Tati, for being on the show today.
And if anything, as of this particular moment, I built all my coaching empire on doing videos through YouTube. And now I'm empowering all the solopreneurs, onlinepreneurs, coaches, consultants
Right.
with all that video stuff. My brand now is Easy Video Coach, very easy to find. Easy Video Coach. So I do a lot of videos on how to show up confidently on video, how to use video to promote your brand, how
Mm-hmm.
to brand yourself and keep your brand consistent. This is what I do now. That channel is in English, so that one I can share with you so you can share with the audience. And
Okay.
other than that, yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much. And you know what? You never know. We may run into each other in the city someday.
I would love to join your travel group because this is now my problem. I don't have companions to travel
Oh, we
together.
have wonderful ladies. We call ourselves the International Ladies of Purpose.
Hmm.
And we travel 3 times a year together. And we have a really great time. We do one international, one women's weekend retreat getaway for like 4 days. And then we have one.
Hmm.
I would love to share that information with.
Yeah, I'll email you. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Sounds good.
Hmm.
Thank you so much for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
And I love it that you're
Bye.
in Houston. All right.
Talk to
Bye-bye.
you later. Bye.
Bye.